Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a new episode of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. This episode will be slightly different. It's a half an hour episode. I decided that I will not cut it into half. We have a special mission here. You see that I'm currently flying this Asteroid Mark 7, one of those, which I've shot into space and successfully docked with each other. In front of us is the Sweetman Mark 1. Now, the Sweetman Mark 1 has a Kerbal in it. The Kerbal has no fuel, life support is slowly running out. The end is near. The end is near. So I decided to go on a rescue mission. Now, this rescue mission I wanted to do such a thing a long time ago because I started to deorbit all my spacecrafts which I currently have. And this is in preparation for the upcoming Asteroid mission, as you may or may not know about. Kerbal Space Program and the NASA is currently working on an Asteroid mission pack. This Asteroid mission pack will include new space parts, which you should be bloody excited about, because it is, and a little claw in which you can grab onto asteroids or any other objects. This is what the FAQ, which you can find down below in the description of Kerbal Space Program, is saying currently. So that's amazing. I mean, just imagine you can go away and you can just clamp onto any kind of, or claw onto any kind of spacecraft which you have. They might as well not even have a docking port. So this would have helped tremendously for my little mission, because the problem with Sweetman Mark 1 is there is no such thing as a docking port on it. I initially thought as I recorded this footage, because I didn't plan to do this episode here. It was like, okay, actually, I could go into the same orbit as him. I'm in the same orbit. Oh bloody hell, I should hit the record button. And so this is a post-recording commentary which I'm doing right now, which makes it a little bit, not bad, but a little bit harder, or easier, because I'm literally just brabbling instead of being focused on what I'm doing here. What will happen is I will try to catch up with the Sweetman Mark 1, and I will actually push him into curb an atmosphere that he's dragged down again. This process will go on, and what I will do now is I will play a little bit of music for you, and I will just let you enjoy the scenery here. And I realized that I did so much things wrong. I mean, I tried to catch up with the sweet man and get in line with him like for such a long time, and in the first place I totally forgot about the controls that I actually need to get the green little bumper down there into the same space as the violet round thing with the dot in the center. I didn't know it, but I did kind of forgot how to exactly do it in terms of with RCS panning around, and boom, there we go. Finally, I have the same flight direction as my little Sweetman Mark 1, which makes things easier because I literally just bump into him now, and boop, there we go. That was a pro maneuver there. That was some NASA science. Wonderful, splendid. Oh man, I was happy that there was no damage to either of the rockets, because this could have been catastrophic. Now, problem is the Sweetman with Gambert Kerman in it. I kinda got bumped out of the trajectory, and I now need to realign everything. So what I was thinking, right? Can we get this little Kerman over to the Saizena? Short answer is yes, we can. long answer is, why would we want to do this? I mean, this Arsena has still quite a lot of fuel in it. Well, not that much of fuel, but a decent amount of fuel, so I could have tried to bring him into a slightly different orbit, send up another rocket with a command pod which has multiple seats, and try to do a docking maneuver again. So this could have been one way to do it. I could have tried to fly the Arsena to the Sweetman Mark 1, which is still in orbit, containing a mobile laboratory, as far as I remember. Yeah, I think it was my first attempt to launch, or one of the many attempts to launch, a mobile lab into space and keep it on a good orbit. Basically preparation for Starbase. Yes, ladies and gents, I called it Starbase. What I would love to do in future episodes, all my work which I do here, besides training for the asteroid missions, is to actually build a starbase, a refueling depot up in space. What I would like to do though is to get the bigger fuel tanks in the first place, because if we have bigger fuel, we can get a bit more fuel up with a bit less space and stuff. So this could be helpful. So I need to go a little bit more further down the science tree, which means that I will do a lot of science. I might as well will do compilation videos in which I cut together a lot of the launches and starts and fails and stuff which are upcoming, because as I mentioned earlier, I do the launch, I go somewhere, I might fail, so it is no point in me showing you that I started a rocket with a new design which failed like a bajillion times and bore you with half an hour of failure which doesn't end in explosions, because explosions is what we're all about in KSP. So that's that. So I will basically do like the start sequence and bring you back when we are actually in space, because I would like to do a little bit of bigger rocket design this time again. I've done a lot of small ones now, except for like the Greenlight Mark 3 or 4. It's quite a big rocket, and I think the Arsena has a decent size as well. Not as big as the rockets which other people do, or which KSB TV sometimes shows. I believe it's Shimmy, which makes this huge rockets with a bajillion parts, like 1.5k parts or something ridiculous like this. It's amazing, and it's cool. It's just not exactly the size which I would like to try currently. So I'm babbling away. I might as well just keep talking then, since we have a nice conversation going. So I went back into my little... what is this? This is the one which we want to deorbit. I realized we have quite a bit of RCS fuel left. So just quickly check, can we do something with the RCS fuel? Unfortunately, we have quite a high orbit above Kerbal, so 130 is not necessarily a distance which you can easily get away with. With my maneuver or my attempt, I automatically pushed away my Arsena Mark 7 as well, which is unfortunate. So let's get back into the same trajectory, and we can actually start to do our rescue. So this video is a lot about chasing the Sweepman and getting into the same trajectory again. Okay, there we go. It's still set as target. Yeah, I needed to reset it as target because the blue dot was not showing, or rather the violet or purple dot was not showing again. So there we go. That's okay. So let's get a bit of speed. As you can see, in relation to the target, I have 6 meters per second, which means currently flying away, now flying towards it. What you always need to see is just double check, is the speed on the globe down below in flying away or flying towards the set target, which you can easily find out when you see that the numbers decrease, which means you fly towards it. Logic. Oh wow. So giving a bit of boost, being careful about my boost, because if I'm too fast, then I will just smash into the sweep man again, and this is not what I want to do. We are about a third into the video, so I will actually play music as soon as we start to deorbit the little sweep man, or I might as well just throw it in right now. I would like to lose some words as soon as we get there, because as I mentioned earlier, I was expecting the sweep man to have a claw or a docking port. Well, that was a good try at least, because what I mistaken the docking port for is actually a parachute. I never checked if it's a parachute or a docking claw. I'm so bad at this game. So just making a few slight adjustments, getting the dot back to the center, aligning myself, and slowly approaching the sweep man. This is like the perfect situation right now, because you know that you will literally collide with the object. So that's sweet, perfect. Just using a little bit of RCS to slow ourselves down. We are getting close. We're perfectly aligned. Everything is fine and dandy. So if they would have a docking port on the Sweepman Mark 1, this would be the situation you want to be in. If anyone has trouble with docking, I might as well do a future episode in which I show the whole process of going up, doing the adjustments and stuff. I'm not good at this, not at all. I need a lot of attempts, a lot of failure. I mean, you saw what I did in the beginning of the episode. I was shooting just straight away from the sweep man, and then I was behind it again, and there was a lot of circulation, and before I hit the record button I literally played like half an hour to adjust the orbit and the trajectory and everything. So I'm really not good at this. Slowly approaching. What I try to do here now is to get my docking port just right above the little engine of the Sweepman, and then I might as well start to push him down. This is the plan anyways. So just slowing down, we're like 1-to-1 now with the Sweepman. We don't even move, we don't go towards it, we don't go away. We're like perfectly lined up. So what I could do, well, slightly drifting, which is not what I would like to see. Need just a sweet touch of adjustment there. You can control your RCS with IJKL if you're in this view. That's with the default settings, and then you can go like left, right, up, down, and boop. Okay, we're in a situation in which we start to push the Sweepman Mark 1. This is exactly what I wanted to do. I do minor adjustments with the RCS because I was pretty much afraid that we would not be able to keep on the dot. As you can see down on the little globe, on the nav globe, I am slightly off center, and that's what I was scared of, that I would just push it away or it would turn around and stuff. Fortunately enough for me, the docking port kinda hooked up with the engine, and I believe that also the goo container kinda helped me out in this situation, because he's slightly pushing against the engine as well. So there we go. As you can see, the apoapsis is going down. Now this is the fun part of the video, because the next 15 minutes I will literally just spend between this view and the view of the map, and waiting until my periapsis and the apoapsis, no, until the periapsis is eaten by the planet, nom 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 nom, and the apoapsis, well, I don't care about the epiabscess. As long as the periapscess is down to 0, I'm very happy. This is actually also my first episode in which there will be a dual landing situation. So I have, obviously, the Saizena went down as well, because I didn't want to start it again and go back up into space, because I burned through a lot of fuel. So what I did is I bring both of the rockets down. Both will parachute and land and everything. So if we want to succeed, or if we will succeed, you will see in a couple of minutes. Let's play some music, shall we? Ladies and gents, this was Snowflake with Moonlight Sonata. The people of you which enjoy classical music might as well recognize it. It is an amazing song from an amazing artist back in the days. The link for the song will be in the description. Well, not for the song, but for the piano cover which he made will be in the description down below as always. Because Snowflake is an artist which is doing things on ccmixter.org, Creative Commons licensed music for people to use, depending on the license. Snowflake especially does a lot of music which is Creative Commons by, which means that you do need to do attribution and also do a link back, which is fair enough, and I'm happily doing this to support this amazing artist. I have a lot of her music on my computer, also for like Symphony, Game Dev Tycoon and so on. As we can see, we're now going into a nice atmospheric landing. Actually, we're already down just quite a bit. We're about to separate with Sweepman Mark I. We're in the higher atmosphere, going into the middle atmosphere. Now that's the interesting part, because that's focus mode. You need to coordinate what you do with each of the rockets. You need to keep track, okay, where is the one rocket, where is the other rocket. As you can see on the Sweepman Mark I there was a shadow. The shadow was actually the shadow from the Cessna Mark VII, which I lost for a minute. Because I literally didn't know, okay, shoot, where did you go? I looked up, there is no Cessna. I looked down, not below me neither. Okay, panic mode. Anyways, I tried to do just a little bit of burning. Not that it really matters, because there is a lot of speed going down now, thanks to the friction of the air. Air friction is a good friction. There we go. There's the Cessna. I found it again. Wonderful. Splendid. Amazing. Now, the Cessna is way above us, which means that she's quite fast. And this is not a good position to be in. Literally like the whole rocket is being lit up. There goes the solar panels, which I didn't retract, because I have not had the time for it and didn't think about it. I need to separate myself as well. The lower stage is not meant to be here on a landing situation. A fun fact with the Cessna Mark VII is there is a small pot under the landing struts with fuel, like an FTL 100 I believe. But I kinda didn't mount an engine to it, so oops. So as of the speed which we are losing here, the Sweepman is just burning and catching up. I'm safe to launch the parachutes now, more or less. You shouldn't launch it when you're still on fire, because this could indeed damage your parachutes. But I needed to do it anyways, because I had a bit of panic that I won't be able to do it fast enough on the Sweepman. Realizing that I'm still way above Kerbal, but when you're the first time in the situation in which you deorbit 2 instead of 1 rocket at the same time, it's quite a bit of challenging, and I was really excited about this. Until to the last minute, I was, okay, can we pull this off? Can we pull this off? Please let me pull this off. This would be so amazing. I mean, for someone who spent like hundreds of hours in KSP, or for all the people in KSP TV, this is like nothing special. But for me, which does it the first time, it's so exciting. And it was a challenge to do it, and now it's like, okay, will it be a success, yes or no? I'm switching between the Cessna and the Sweepman quite a few times, trying to stay on track. Okay, which height does it have? When goes the chute open? I'm also not sure if KSP actually does simulate when the chute should open, like parachute at like 500 if you're not actively flying the rocket. I'm really not sure, because there are a couple of things going on around calculations and stuff when you have rockets in the air. So I wanted to be on the safe side, basically. I mean, I could test it in a sandbox game. I could test it when I do a sandbox run. I might as well do. I just create a sandbox. There we go, shoot this open, switching over. And 500, there we go. The Sweepman and the Saisena both have open chutes now, parachutes, safely bringing us down into the water for a gentle splashdown. Amazing, ladies and gents. So far, so good. Now, the next part is to go down into the water and splash down there. I want to be on the safe side. I keep the camera on, I swap between them. Checking the height, they are now quite on the same level, because 330 and 290, so there is 30 meters between them in terms of the height. Not sure if one is a bit heavier than the other. The Saisena has a couple of more things. As you can see, there is a fuel tank down below, exactly where my mouse was just a minute ago, but actually no engine, so that was funny. I have no idea what I wanted to do with this fuel tank. I would assume that I wanted to have like an emergency fuel pod down there, so if the separation of the stage did happen at a point in which I'm out of fuel and still need to go places, that I have a little bit left to go at least back to Kerbal, because the Saisena Mark 7 design brings you to the moon easily with a lot of fuel left. It brings you to Minmus, which is fair enough. You can go out of the Kerbal solar system or Kerbal orbit to a sun orbit and go back again to Kerbal. You can reach, under good circumstances, Duna, make a swing by and go back with just a bit of fuel left, tiny bit. Ladies and gents, we successfully splashed down 2 safe Kerbals. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button, and I see you next time. Bye!